And we built this in community with the astronomy students at Conewaina High School and around the island. A lot of helpful hands went to create this. And it's a beautiful educational model, and the only one in the world at the moment of the Milky Way, which is our galaxy. And it's to scale, so even if it's 100 feet across, the galaxy is like 100,000 light years across. So as you look at this garden, it is quite something. It's so wonderful for our community to have this, because in West Hawaii we don't have anything for astronomy. We're an astronomy island, and this really allows the people of West Hawaii to get together and have an astronomy experience that it doesn't have to be at night. This astronomy experience is experienced in the day. The arms of the galaxy by name. But we do supply also a self-guided tour for people. So as they walk through here, they can see where they are in the different arms of our galaxy. So we're going to wander in over here. And you can see it's just filled with these beautiful hibiscus of all different kinds and ixoras. It's just such a beautiful garden. But that leaf is here. So this little stud, gold stud, represents the sun, but that's much larger than it really is. So when we look out in the night sky, all we see is right here. This is all we see, this little bit here, and we think that's the Milky Way. But our Milky Way is huge. It's just hundreds. It's hard to imagine. So when you come here to visit this garden, you actually get a visceral feeling of what it's like and where we are, and how interesting life is, and how fortunate we are to have each other. We've created the center of the universe to represent the black hole with this beautiful water feature. And as you can see, there's an outer rim, and that water is actually sucked in when it gets to the bottom rim. That's called the event horizon. And that sucks the energy in, and then it shoots it back out and creates in the creative force. So anything that gets near the event horizon is sucked in, and then it's shot back out in creating things. So this is our black hole, and it's a very beautiful, again, meditative place surrounded by gorgeous hibiscus. Oh, wow. This is the grotto. This is the grotto of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And we did this last year. And all of these roses were individually made by people every time we do something here at the gardens, we fundraise. Because we're a nonprofit, we can give people that kind of a tax exemption. And so through our fundraising efforts here, we made these beautiful roses, handmade these roses here, and then through the help of some friends had them fired. And they just turned out so beautiful. So people that fundraised wrote the names of people and friends that they wanted certain prayers, and then we placed them around the statue of Mary. And Mary herself is filled with some beautiful crystals, again from a wonderful woman who lives very near here. And everything that has been done here, having the blessings of many people and the hard work of many people, and the dedication of the community coming together to create beauty and harmony. And this is her little store, the story of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and it tells about her and about her tradition. And she's really a lady of protection, and she particularly protects unborn children. And she gave her message of compassion and her promise to protect all people. So she in her appearance, she appeared in Mexico. And she was the one in her appearance that when the man who had seen her that she appeared to went to speak to the bishop, he didn't really believe her story at first. So he went back and asked for a sign, and she said, put down your tillum. It's their cloak, and she said to go and pick these roses. And so he picked all these roses and he took them. And roses don't grow there at that time of year, and took them to the bishop. And when he opened his cloak and not only were the roses an amazing thing, but the cloak itself had a complete picture of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And still to this day, I think they still have this image. It's a cactus cloth coat, and 479 years later, it still shows no sign of decay. It has her complete picture. And these palm trees sort of represented the Palm Sunday, the walk of Jesus. Grapefruit, ademoyans, we have a lot of star fruit, we have avocados, papayas, and a lot of different citrus. We have the lemons, limes, oranges. And we have some of the best mangoes. We have the trumpet flower surrounding the tree and a lot of heliconias. It was created by a wonderful gentleman, a wonderful Swami, and is in the tradition of the Hindu. This is the Shiva and the Shiva Lingam and Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. Very sweet bench to sit on, and there's always a gentle breeze here. So people, as they wander through the peace gardens, come here to sit, pray, or sing, get in touch with their hearts. And these were brought by different people that gifted the center with the peace poles. And this says, may peace, if you look on this side, you'll see, may peace prevail on earth. And it says it in different languages. So this is one way to bring the idea, to introduce the idea and to introduce the energy of peace, is to have it said in different languages. So we have it here in Hawaiian and Japanese and Portuguese and Spanish and English and French. And we actually have two peace poles here. And one of them was brought to us by Oshima, which is a Japanese island that is like our sister island in Japan. And people traveled here with this peace pole, and through the local kahuna ended up here at Paleaku to put the peace pole here. And if you stand on the stones and look down, you actually see the peace sign. So it's all done in yellow lantana. And we have a lot of noni here too, a lot of noni. So we have St. Francis here also, and this shrine, there's actually a little book written about it, and it's up there at the Garden Resource Center. But the center of it is the crown of thorns to represent Jesus, and the star, the geometry of the star, which is in the Jewish tradition because Jesus was Hebrew, it traces his lineage backwards. And then the cross in the center is his redemptive qualities, his redemption. And then the pegs that are on the edge of the star are the nails of the cross. And in the top of those nails are carved letters. And each letter represents a different ethical teaching of Christianity, like faith, integrity, hope, work. So they have different. Each nail has a different letter on the top of it. This is a Bodhi tree. And in Buddhist tradition, Buddha sat under a tree as he became awakened and as he realized his full potential as a teacher. The Bodhi tree is such a Vamsavava was a great saint in Buddhist tradition who brought Buddhism from India into Tibet. So he's considered one of the founders of the Tibetan tradition of Buddhism. He's surrounded by some magnificent triangular palms and a neem tree, a monkey pod tree, palm trees, coconut palms. This is a stupa, and this is in the tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. These are built around the world. However, this one is the first Kalachakra that was built in the West outside of Tibet. And Kalachakra stupa is a certain kind of stupa that's used to create and emanate peace and harmony in the world. And inside it is all filled with crystals and prayers and special rocks from all over the world and relics of great saints. And this is the third one in the world that was built. And this is the first one in the West that was built. So people can come here and have lunch, bring a sack lunch and sit and have lunch. This is a Native American medicine wheel, and they use this, again, to get in touch with the deeper sense of life itself and to reflect upon things, ponder, ask questions. They would walk the medicine. And so the different colors, we have the white coral, we have a honey colored, so the white, they represent the different directions and the different times of the year, different seasons. When you came in, you saw the beautiful red jade. Well, this is the sister jade. This is the blue jade. This is a very beautiful, amazing colored vine. It looks almost like a parrot's beak. This is the labyrinth. The labyrinth is not a maze. The labyrinth has one way in and one way out. It's not designed to have you get lost. It's actually for you to find the center of the labyrinth, the center of yourself, the center of energy. And so many people use this as a walking meditation. And they ask a question as they walk in, they get to the middle, they contemplate, and then they begin their journey out. Very beautiful palm tree, it's like the mother palm tree. That's what it reminds me of. Below the labyrinth is the fire circle. So that's done by the Hopi tradition, Native American. So the tradition of this one was to bring the fires starting back to the feminine. And that's where it drew out of. And so occasionally we have a little fire ceremony where we have things that we want to burn, or it's time for a renewal, and we might get together and write things on pieces of paper and burn them in the fire, let them go. Purification. Yeah. So all the different types of traditions, a lot of them have similarities, but they really are all very unique. And so each one in their uniqueness brings for us as individuals, a way to help us, go through life, learning, and very educational.